How y'all doing? I'm tuning in from the Bitcoin farm out here. Yo, quit laughing then. My name's Vosk on the VoskCoin YouTube channel. Today, I'm going to be talking about the mining shed. Super stoked about this. We just broke down another video what this building is and everything it's used for. When it comes to basically mining, it is no more than an intake building. It is going to be a repair center. It is going to be a shipping department, things coming in, miners going out, and also a test bench for the YouTube side of what we do. But for the mining side of the VoskCoin mining empire, yeah, I like that. We'll run with that. I'm building out numerous shipping containers. What's going to go in here? The core of the mining business is going to be built on Bitcoin miners. Absolutely. And with these Bitcoin miners, we are going to focus heavily on renewable energy, specifically just solar power. I mean, that's why we bought this land. And this field is just picture perfect for, you know, we're going to quit farming corn and we're going to start farming sunlight. And so the end game, right, you know, talk about it is pay off the solar panels, pay off the infrastructure, okay, like the mining shed and the other shipping containers we're going to buy and build out. And then obviously pay off the miners, and then literally everything is green. We got free energy, and then just going into paid off equipment. It's the fucking dream. I'm so excited. Like, this is chasing just like next level passive income. I don't know, I'm not trying to, like, I never want to come off like I'm bragging. I promise, like, I really don't want to ever sound like a douche, but I'm so excited. Like, this is so cool. This is, you know, by the time it's like really going to be up and running at speed, this is going to be 6 years in the making. That's over half a decade. I've just poured everything I have and then some into this, along with the beautiful Miss Vosk, and of course our CMO, our Chief Mining Officer, the cutest and the wiggliest. That's going to be Tails, our you know, our resident Shiba Inu and Doge here. I'm really excited. Also, it's a little bit of a soft spot for me, I guess, in a way. If you're familiar with the channel, it really originated with me buying a couple mining rigs in my house and building a couple, and I was like, this is sick. I'm in. I went stupid all in and bullish and leveraged everything I had and then some. And I tried to basically go in on a like an industrial or commercial facility nearby with a couple buddies, but you know, they were fucking around, slowing me down, and I was like, you know what, forget about it, right? Forget about it. And I just went ahead and ordered a shed. Just, you know, boom, ordered a shed, ran some electric into it, and off to the races, stuffing as many miners as I could possibly get into there. And so now I'm building a bigger, a better design shed mining farm. Really, it's going to function much like a shipping container design. And so I've just arrived at our destination here. So I've got the pad down here, you know, just a gravel pad, nothing crazy. I'm gonna run the initial electricity just probably into the, I don't know, we gotta come up with a cool name. Let me know down in the comments if you have any ideas for a cool name, like the crypto compound. You know, I'm trying to do like Rob Dyrdek Fantasy Factory style here in that building, you know, but a little smaller scale, a little more humble than Mr. Dyrdek, because my man is wild. In all seriousness, I'm gonna run the electric there and then run it from there here, and that's just gonna kind of get me off the ground. From there, I need to build out more advanced electricity infrastructure there. You know, I'm going to be running the panels. I'm going to grid tie them, especially initially. I want to explore battery setups, but batteries, they become, you know, a lot more to deal with, more upfront cost. You have to maintain more, you know, you just add more pieces to the puzzle. But the big thing here is just, you know, getting this facility. Sizing, just 10 by 20. And I'm going to actually just cut it in half, not literally, but you never know with me. In the beginning, put a wall up there, make it airtight, and then I'm just gonna do a classic flow-through design. You know, so you see the schematics right here, you know, and just, you know, some comparative examples. I mean, it's nothing crazy. So it's a stick-built shed, vinyl siding. I'm gonna cut vents in, you know, intake and outtake. I'm going to try initially to just have enough miners all positioned properly where they will move all the air that they need to do themselves. I don't want an intake fan. I don't want an exhaust fan if I don't absolutely need one to basically correct the airflow. So, you know, we'll just have intake, outtake, you know, flow through design. Every mining rig, especially ASIC miners, which are purpose-built miners, application-specific integrated circuit miners, you know, the purpose-built machines, for example, a Bitcoin miner is an ASIC miner. All it mines is the SHA-256 mining algorithm. So that's all it does. And they always come with fans, 2 big fans on each side in all of these modern designs. So with that, we'll be moving a ton of CFMs. Hey, cutie. Hey, someone startled me. I was like, uh-oh. Hey, are you a Bitcoin farmer? Got my manager on the scene. I play it cool, like, you know, yeah, Tails, we're just working hard out here. We're working hard on the family business. You know how we do it. Yeah, that's basically the plan. You know, just put probably 2 shelves in the middle, put up some boards, you know, to kind of stop the air from escaping around it. I'm making sure that there's no ridge vent in this structure, so there's no way for the airflow to be disrupted, sucked in from other sides or whatever. Like, you know, you can only get air from here and it only goes out there. Done. That's it. Again, you know, very simple design. In the short term, my focus is just getting up and running. I have idle miners. I have more miners on the way. I can't have this capital sitting here, especially in market conditions like this. We gotta plug and chug, as they say. And so that's the plan. I'm super stoked, you know, to kind of get nostalgic on you real quick. Is this will be like a true successor, 2.0 or even like 3.0. It's gonna be like a 3.0 mining farm for me, but really a mining shed 2.0. Take what I learned from before, gather up data from, you know, everyone else who has kind of, you know, traversed these hurdles and everything like that, and just bring something simple and effective. You know, it's not gonna be wasted money. I'm not gonna do anything over the top here. It's just, you know, a simple, effective, efficient build, and you know, that's the real thing, is really just getting started. And so however you want to do that in any capacity, you know, just putting a couple miners in your house and you know, getting it going, putting a small shed in your backyard. Getting those miners out of your home is really beneficial for, you know, as they call it, the wife approval factor. The WAF, the wife approval factor. You know, the noise gets old, they're hot. A lot of people don't realize or understand fully, I don't think, or just, you know, whatever, the parasitic drain and the parasitic loss that you face when these miners are in your house producing heat, but you're trying to cool your home to 70 or 72 degrees, whatever, you know, Fahrenheit, or if you use Celsius, like, you know, all the smart people in the world using the metric system, but we're just American plebs out here. This is actually going to be delivered over the next week, so we're really right there. I didn't want to talk about things too much more until we got things, you know, as you saw over there, literally more concrete. But this is supposed to be delivered, you know, very soon. The building is supposed to be built, you know, the initial bare bones over the next month. Once I get these things in place, in the mining shed, I'm going to start working on the airflow situation, getting the vents, getting the shelving, getting everything set up properly. For the other building, my main focus over there really is just to pull electricity. I need to get electricity pulled, and then I'm probably just going to pull a sub panel over here. And, you know, when we have electricity, we have light, we have life. You know, when it comes to cryptocurrency, especially crypto mining, obviously, electricity is your lifeblood, along with internet. I know me and Elon Musk have had our differences, okay, sometimes. He's enabled, or not him literally, but Starlink has enabled coverage for our area. I've got the Starlink satellite, and that is going to save us an initial about $50K upfront cost from hardwired internet from the cable company, which is just a scam, because you pay that and then they still bill you. It's like I have to build out and pay for your infrastructure, and then you still perpetually bill me. It's bullshit. Don't make faces. Why are you laughing?
No, that's how you really feel.
She said I'm a genius and I'm really handsome. But yeah, to bring it back to the shed, I mean, I pretty much covered all the basics here. By cutting it in half in the middle, I have the ability to expand it when I'm ready or need to. I'm also going to be bringing in a shipping container, you know, purpose built for this. I'm really trying to bring in 2. The medium term goal is to build out a 1 megawatt facility and be producing a megawatt of electricity. I really want to get to a point where we're not pulling power from the grid. We're making all our own electricity, and we have a mining farm of notable size. You know, just something very cool that I'm very proud of. You know, just basic filtration system in here, not going to go too crazy. Miners are consumable. They don't last forever, and even if, you know, they don't break, they just become inefficient. And, you know, with solar power, we're going to have an edge once we get everything paid off. But until then, our price per kilowatt hour, when you really break it down, is actually very expensive. So this is a very capital upfront, you know, heavy endeavor. But, you know, that's what we've been preparing for over the last few years, is to, you know, take this launch, take the plunge. Everything is homegrown, self-funded, no investors, no VCs, no bulls. So, you know, just like this Bitcoin, this is going to be homegrown. In addition to the Bitcoin mining rigs, obviously, which is going to be the core here, obviously going to diversify. If there are GPU mining opportunities of interest, and that they have a good, you know, medium term, long term look, you know, I'll explore those. But I'm definitely going to build out some Cadena mining rigs because their whole pitch is ruined if they move away from proof of work. Same thing with Nervos Network. They have literally, they came on our channel a couple years ago and word for word committed to proof of work mining forever.
Yeah, there's never been any discussion about moving to proof of stake. Yeah, proof of work works really well, and yeah, there are no plans to move to proof of stake.
You know, basically, I want to support projects that support mining, and so building out some infrastructure to support those chains. You know, and then I'll dabble into some other speculative mining rigs. You know, obviously there's like Saya, Handshake, Starcoin is a newer one. Obviously, good old Dogecoin script. Even though there's rumors and rumors of them trying to move to proof of stake and move away from proof of work, but at that point they're really just a worse Shiba Inu SHIB token. But you know, hey, we'll see. Dogecoin developers are certainly an interesting bunch, to put it simply. But that's really the kind of basics in regards to this. Right here is going to be a garage door, and so we're getting a gator to traverse our facility, which I'm super stoked for. That's going to be your boy's daily driver. I'm gonna log that when we get it. We're gonna put so many miles on that thing, it's crazy. We're over half a mile just from our freaking mailbox. Depending how we go, it could be over a mile with the other trail. But anyway, so I'm gonna load up stuff on the gator, back in and right here, and just keep chugging. I'm very excited. This is so cool, and I'm fortunate to be doing this here. And above all, everyone who subscribes and tunes into the channel, like, you guys help make this stuff possible, and just support me and all my crazy crypto journey, and just doing all this ridiculous stuff. I make written and video guides on everything we're doing of note, so anyone who wants to replicate this stuff at any scale will have that ability. Obviously the solar mining stuff is going to be really fun, and kind of looking at the best ways to I'm going to face a lot of hurdles, a lot of trial and error with that. We'll test obviously different panels, different setups, looking at grid ties, bring some batteries in, and really just like the best way to do this from a cost efficiency, but even maybe looking long term. And then especially in this era, we'll look at the best way to minimize our environmental impact, because they always try to attack that angle for crypto mining, and especially Bitcoin, but with green energy that can be easily mitigated. Most Bitcoin mined is actually mined through renewable energy already. A lot of people don't know that, and most media sites, especially ones that are full of lies like the Washington Post, will never tell you that.
Hey guys, it's Miss Vos. So from my perspective, I'm super excited for this mining shed. It's kind of like a 2.0 version of our original mining shed, which brings back a lot of memories. We primarily have been running all of our miners out of our house currently, so I've literally been hearing miners in my office for almost 5 years now. So I'm excited to kind of get them away from the house and just have a dedicated setup where we can focus more on airflow and temperature control and power, and just kind of monitor all of that. It gets kind of tricky when you have everything running in your house and just mixing up the different power sources and electric and everything. But I'm excited to kind of get that and move it over here and kind of show you what we think an ideal setup would be. Definitely open to hearing all of your input on your experiences with mining. We're taking all of the things we learned from our first mining shed and putting it into this one, hopefully making it bigger and better.
But that's it. That's all I got. I don't want to keep on rambling. I'm very excited. If you guys have any advice, input, I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments, or make a thread over on VoskCoin Talk, our forum. Everything can always be improved. I don't think I have a perfect game plan here, but as always, you just got to run with what you got, do the best you can, evolve and improve as you go. So I hope that you can improve what you're doing by subscribing today. Hit the thumbs up, and seriously, thanks for watching. We still upload daily. So I hope I'll see you tomorrow. We need your help right now. Please drop a cool name for this building. Not down in the comments, because we have a bunch of YouTube comments have been difficult lately. So click the link to the forum thread, leave your Bitcoin address and the name that you think that we should name this building. And if we choose your name, I'll send you some Satoshis. Look, I'll be honest, I'm not gonna send you Bitcoins. It's not gonna be plural, but I'm not just gonna take the name and not give you credit and reward you. So help us out. I'm totally stuck here.
You're making me nervous.